All right. All right. This flowed better this time. It flowed better this time. Okay. Rich risings, rich risings. All right. It feels wonderful out here. Beautiful breeze. Had to ensure that my daughter and my cat are inside because they so cute. They can be very distracting, and I want to ensure that I get what I put in when I do these. Oh, I don't just do this for you guys. I do this for myself as well. But you see right here, I got some toothpaste drying out. A blemish that tried to say peekaboo. Oh no, you finna get up out of here. Okay. So this Saturn's rising. I took notes. I'm always gonna take notes. Okay. I'm a note taker and I love to write stuff down. It helps me keep my flow and everything. Plus, I have the most beautiful handwriting to me. It's beautiful handwriting, okay? So, we're definitely going to be doing some yoga poses. If you joined me last Saturn's rising, we basically just focused on breath work. And before we get started, I want to give my gratitude and show my gratitude to Gaia, Mother Earth. We have our beautiful myrtle bush, Myrtle, in the background here. Thank you, Myrtle, for joining and always being here. She's going to always have an appearance in here, so let me ensure that my camera is adjusted so she's fully into the screen. Okay, so we are going to be doing some poses. This Saturn's rising. Okay, so we're going to be focusing on some grounding poses, spinal mobility. Okay, hip openers, chest opening. I will incorporate a 5-minute meditation as well. The breath work that we will be doing, I'll be doing two for this Saturn's rising. Okay. If you're here, last Saturn's rising reset, we focused on breathing. And two of those things that we did, breath work exercises, was box breathing and the lion's breath, which is the two breath work techniques that we will be conducting this Saturn's rising reset. Okay. And at the end of our reset, we're going to close it out with a card pull. I love to pull 3 cards minimum. What is it that we are guided to do based off the cards that get pulled this rising? So this is my chakras activity and oracle card deck. Okay, so I'll be pulling 3 cards minimum from here. Now, if I'm guided and more cards get pulled out, that means, hey, you gotta let that inner child play and give yourself that internal in-depth love. Okay. So before I get started, I took notes on the planetary alignments that is currently going on. And these planetary alignments, you probably already feel them. Okay, so I'm going to start with the sun in Cancer. This is where emotional nourishment is compassion, home, family, inner child, okay, emotional security. Um, Physical influences on this position is your chest, your lungs, upper back, heart space. Okay, so um, heart opening poses is what I mentioned. So remember the poses I said that we'll be focusing on that is due to our current planetary alignments to help us get, energy flowing, release what no longer serves, and feel that rejuvenation and feel centered within our own physical vessels. Okay, reset, focus. Now this is for you after we finish our Saturn's rising reset, and that's to continue practicing gratitude. okay? And do some forgiveness work. This is a great time to focus on forgiveness. You know, when you hold on to grudges that you've had with other people, you know, you still give them that power. Your power is leaking. Folks probably forgot whatever the hell it is that you're angry about. You know, if they didn't, then still, they probably not in space to understand where you're coming from. So you focus on forgiveness. Forgive them for yourself. That's a real thing, okay? Moon in Gemini, throat, this our throat area, um, communication, learning, curiosity, movement, breath, and nervous system. Okay, some practices you can do after this Saturn's rising reset is sing. If you love to sing, sing. Okay, if you teach, you know how. What are some practices that you can teach others, and how can you enhance your teaching skills and everything? Journaling. I love to journal. Okay. Mercury retrograde in Cancer. Now, Mercury retrograde will be retrograded until July 23rd. Okay. So, this focal point is the throat and the heart center. Okay. Mercury, thoughts, speech and perception. Okay. Cancer adds memory, emotion, and intuition. Okay, so a question you should ask yourself: what conversation with self still needs my attention or still needs healing? Okay, during this retrograde. That's a question that you can ask yourself. Make sure I pull this up because I want to use the timer. Okay. So practices that you can do throughout Saturn's rising is again journaling, rewriting your limiting beliefs. Where are there areas where you have limiting beliefs? Okay, open your mind to expand upon that and rewrite that. Voice activation. Where have you been silencing yourself and allow your voice to speak? You know, whether it's out loud to yourself or you giving a speech to a crowd. Again, this is where the journaling comes from. If you're not, in front of people and you just have some uh, creative speeches or something that you need to express when it comes to communication. Writing it out is always a great practice to start with. It gives your voice a place to land. Okay, that's a grounding type of practice. Okay, Venus in Virgo. Virgo refines, Venus beautifies. Okay, so this is a great time for your herbal teas, nourishing meals, okay, skincare, self massage, and creating sacred rituals. So, my moon sign is in Virgo, and before I even delve deep into Venus and Virgo, I already had some of this going on, taking care of my skin, um, creating some sacred routines, thinking about, my eating habits and having much more nourishing foods to eat. Okay. Mars in Gemini, throat and third eye. Mars equals action. Gemini equals thoughts. Okay. Energy may feel mentally fast, making it easier to scatter your focus and your attention. I'd say for continued practice for this Saturn's rising reset, intentional breathing, balancing of the hemisphere, and mindful movement. Okay. Jupiter in Leo. This is where the solar plex is. I love to not only talk about the planetary placements, but also how they influence our energy centers. So that's why you hear me also incorporating the chakra systems. Okay, Leo, since it's in Jupiter, is expanding upon confidence, creativity, authentic expression, and leadership. Okay, ask yourself these questions. Where am I dimming my light? And where can I create more boldly? And for all my artists out there, this is a great time to express yourself through dance, artistic expression, teaching, and speaking more confidently. Even if you're not an artist, get in tune with that artistic side. We all have it. Art looks different for everyone, however you express it. Okay. So that's dance, artistic expression. Artistic expression can be dance. Dance is a form of art. Singing is a form of art. Drawing is a form of art. Painting is a form of art. Coloring in your coloring book is a form of art. Some of you are great writers. Automatic writing, that's another great form of art. What is your art language? Let's start there. What do you find that's artistically something you're drawn to that's your art language? Okay. And the question, there's no question for that one that I wrote down. So let's move on to the next one. Saturn in Aries. Okay. Saturn builds structure. Aries initiate action. Okay. The question you want to ask for this placement: can I create disciplined beginnings? Okay. Are you disciplined in the things that you create? Or are things scattered? Be truly honest with yourself. Where in your life do you feel that you need discipline at? Or if there's something that you're wanting to start to create, how do you start creating that, but in a structured manner to help you keep the flow going, keep the flow going, your flow, not nobody else's flow, your flow. Okay. Uranus in Gemini, this is third eye. Uranus awakens, Gemini learns. Okay. Sudden insight, flashes of inspiration, conventional ideas, new perspectives. Okay. All right, we have Neptune retrograde in Aries, third eye and crown. Okay, Neptune dissolves illusions. Retrograde turns that process inward. So you're going inward. And that's where Aries is asking, who am I when I stop performing? Or who am I when the world is not looking? Who am I when I'm behind closed doors? Who am I when I am going deep within self? Okay. Practices throughout this Saturn's rising would be some good meditation, having moments of silence. And I also recommend dream journaling. If your dreams have been talking to you, which is your subconsciousness. Write down what you remember and, sit with self in silence and just be there with self and just see what it is that your internal self, your God self, is trying to relay to you. What messages, are you getting from that? Pluto retrograde in Aquarius. Okay. Root and crown. Pluto is transformation. Aqua evolves collective patterns and future visions. Okay. Question: what old identity am I ready to release? You're supposed to evolve. You're not supposed to stay the same. Have you ever came across people from your past? Maybe like, say, like for instance, these people you knew back in high school or something like that is still in that high school mind, and you're just like, why they ain't graduated from that? You know what I'm saying? So you're supposed to evolve. There are things that you're supposed to allow yourself to release to reap the benefits of evolving and everything. So this is a perfect time for self-reflection, shadow work, ancestral reflection, breaking inherited patterns, and nervous system healing. Okay, we're doing a Saturn's rising reset. Okay, so these are our planetary alignments. I talked about how we will be doing some breath work. Mommy girl, stop. I talked about how Imani, stop, please. So I talked about how we will be doing some breath work. We will be doing box breathing and lion's breath. Okay, so I'm going to start the timer. We will do 5 minutes of box breathing, and then we're going to do 3 minutes of the lion's breath. Now, when we conduct the lion's breath, as you are conducting the lion's breath, okay, the questions that I've asked along the way thus far, I want you to think about it, okay? Especially, say, for instance, what old identity am I ready to release? I want you to breathe in deep. Think about what that is and release it through your lion's breath, okay? All right. Let's see. I'm gonna go back. I know I've written some down. Um, doo-doo-doo, doo-doo-doo. All right. That's a good one though to use. What conversations with yourself that you still need to give attention to? Also, bring that up when we do the box breathing. When we do box breathing, I want you to allow yourself to think about what it is that you still need to give yourself attention to and allow yourself to heal from. And as you exhale, you know, you're thinking about that and allowing your internal self to express it as you breathe, and you're breathing out, having that sacred conversation with your breath, with your internal self. I would say through your breath with your internal self. Okay. All right. So I knew I had another question that I written down, and I didn't see it. Okay, yes, it's here. It's our journal prompt. So let's get started with our box breathing. And we're going to do 5 minutes. For this one, we are going to think about what conversation with self still needs my attention or healing. As you breathe in deep, breathe in for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 4, hold for 4, and then repeat. As you're doing that, you're having an internal conversation with yourself and allowing your internal self to speak, but also allowing whatever emotions that may have been attached to that area in your life that you haven't been giving yourself attention to, allowing that to release, especially if it's something that's stagnant within the body. Also, with breath, it definitely helps us not only give the attention where we need to be and release things that need to be released, it helps also to evolve things that needs to be evolved. Okay, so we're going to start. I'm going to restart the timer and starting now. All right. That was our timer. As you took a moment for self, what came to mind? You don't have to say it in the comments if you don't want to. You can share if you like. But if you don't have to. I do want to say that. I'm going to put my hair up. Okay, we're going to do our lion's breath for 3 minutes. Okay, hair up. Sitting outside, so nature, all the little creatures that live out here, trying to distract you, girl, but I'm going to stay focused. Okay. For a lion's breath, the question that I want you to focus on: what old identity am I ready to release? Okay. Really focus on that. What old identity do you still claim that you are ready to release? As you are conducting this lion's breath work, I want you to breathe deep in, and when you exhale out, release it through your lion's breath. Okay, let's give this 3 minutes. Okay, so let's start. Here we go. Breathe in deep, releasing what no longer serves. Allowing what all those old versions of self that I still held on to, allowing them to come to the forefront and just be exposed and release it. 1, 2, 3 on the clock here where I'm at. Really feel it in your solar plex, down in there. Release. Take it in here from the solar plex. We're talking about lion's breath. The lion, which is the Leo and our constellation system. Okay, Leo represents the sun, solar plex, right here in the solar plex. Take it in. We're at 1 minute. 1 minute. Feel it as you exhale your breath out. We are at 30 seconds. Time, time. Okay, I'm gonna share mine. Mine is that when I do stuff like this, a gathering where I want to get a community of people together and I, do some guided meditation and breath work, or just, you know, presenting my artwork. Um, Used to want, have people there and be like, why people don't show up for me? Okay, so that old version of myself, I show up for myself even when no one is watching. Okay, so those who are watching, I want to say gratitude. And it feels so good to still show up for self. You know, I've gotten where that I'm okay if no one outside of me shows up. Did I show up for me? I'm showing up for me this Saturn's rising. Where have you not been showing up for yourself? Show up for yourself, okay? We could have did the lion's pose, but I didn't think of that. But it's okay. We did what we were guided to do. All right, so here are some books that I study out of, and I recommend that you pick these books up yourself to help you with nervous system, body movement, yoga poses, somatic healing. Okay, these are some good books that you can take on to. Okay, I am going to start with stretching of the insides. And what I mean by that is I have my cube here that I like to have. Don't have to have this. I, excuse me, I like to utilize it because it helps deepen my stretch. So, what I'm going to do, make sure that you can see me and my poses. Okay, I got my rag this time. Shout out and gratitude to myself for actually showing up on time and getting my shit together. Okay, I'm proud of me for that. I'm proud of me for that. I showed up on time. I'm an individual that don't like to be late. Okay, yeah, that's just me. As I've always been that way. So if you if you're on time, you're still late. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to start on this side. I'm going to take my left leg inward, going to stretch my right leg out, and I'm going to move the camera around so you can see. Stretch it out like that. Now the block will go behind my right foot, and as I do that, place it there. Ensure that it's like almost like I'm stepping on the block. And I like to keep my hand, same hand, same foot on the block. And for that deep stretch, I like to lean in, but I also like to take my left arm, bring it over, and get a deep stretch in. This here is a good, not only a good hip opener, but it stretches the spine. Okay, good deep stretch. You don't get the stretch right here all in the sides. That's needed. Okay. Allow yourself to take a few breaths. Ensure that you're drinking water. Then we're going to come up. And how I'm going to transition, I want you guys to transition slowly. We're doing slow movements. Okay. We're going to take our right foot in, crisscross applesauce. However, we're going to take our left leg out and we're going to do the same thing on this side, bringing this foot in. I'm taking my cube here, putting it behind my left foot. Remember, if you have a block, you know, make it look as if you're actually stepping on it. If you don't, just place your hand behind the palms of your feet. Okay, and you're going to take your right arm overhead and get into that deep stretch. Come back over. Let's go to center. Okay. Now, back in lotus position. From here, what I love to do, butterflies. I am going to put both palms of my feet together like this. You don't have to have a block, remember that. And the goal is to try to open, because this opens the growing areas, the hips, okay? See if you can get your knees to touch the ground. If they cannot, do what you can handle, okay? Remember, you don't want to force anything because you will, strain and hurt the body. We're training and attuning our bodies to these positions and allowing our bodies to feel and flow that energy out. And trust me, it's going to flow out. Let's sit here for a minute as I chat with you, because there's more we're going to do in this position. Okay. So I want to reiterate, because I used to do my lives on TikTok. I stopped doing my lives on TikTok because, one, I like to play my own music. Okay. Two, I have this channel, and I'm just like, I need to utilize my YouTube channel more. So, wanting to utilize my YouTube channel, TikTok is a great place to start, especially when you do lives, and ensure that you're sitting up straight too as you're doing this. Don't hunch your back over. Okay, you can really feel the stretch. So I had to adjust myself in that. Even I'm still, practicing doing these practices as well. Okay, I'm not doing the work, but we're doing this together. But going back to TikTok, it's a great place to start to do lives, and you can continue to do so. Um, I wanted to utilize my YouTube channel because I want to stand out in that sense. Now, there's a lot of people who use TikTok Live, Facebook Live, but a lot of people have been doing a lot of TikTok Lives. So I want to stand out from that as well. And give my YouTube channel some more traction because it was collecting some cobwebs. Okay, so I talked about how when you're doing these poses, you will feel the release. And release can happen in many different ways. You may feel the sensations flowing through your body. Your yoni may puff out air. You may have gas, whether you passing gas or burping. Tears may form. um just some hidden emotions may come up. Allow them to flow out, because these are stagnant energies that was trapped in the body. And now that you're doing these poses, you are removing that. You're allowing it to flow out the universe. Now I'm going to use my block again for this, from this pose. I'm going to place it here in front. And from here, if you don't have a block, just hands on the ground. And what you're going to do, stretch, stretch, stretch in front of you. Feel the release in the growing area. Okay, feel it. Remember, do not um, harm yourself. Don't harm yourself in this pose. If it hurts, I want you to back it up and go as far as you can. Remember, the more that you do these, the more you'll see that your body starts to adjust, and that it will be more fluential to the body. The body will starts to understand, oh, she's doing some sacred routines for self. This is how we're releasing our energy. Okay, let's get a good stretch for a few seconds. And when I say sensations, you can feel, you might not have like any type of emotion to it, but you can feel the energy moving around. I also want to say orgasms. You may have an orgasm. Let's bring it back up. So don't stop yourself from those moments, okay? Allow it to happen. So I love to do grounding poses. I'm gonna flip through here. This is actual a grounding pose according to my chakra yoga book here. I also say not only a grounding pose, but it helps with the sexual center as well. Okay. So from here, I'm trying to decide because there are some poses that I love that's grounding. We're gonna do three of them, family. Okay, we're gonna start with our lunge for the root center. And again, we're gonna do slow movements as we transition. So bring your knees up to you like this. Okay, we're gonna roll over on all fours like this. Okay, we're gonna start with the left leg. You're going to bring the left leg forward, okay? And with that, the right leg extends out and you start to feel that stretch within the groin. Think of grounding thoughts. Allow what energies that's flowing out, allow them to flow out. Breathe slowly. Okay, now I like to rock back and bring my left leg back, meeting my right leg. And we're going to do the same on the opposite end, bringing our right leg forward, getting that good stretch. All right, rock it on back, swing that right leg back, meaning the left slowly. Okay. Now from here, I want you, this is what I'm doing, tuck your feet in here. And I want you to push your body up. Okay, we about to go into another yoga pose. Make your feet shoulder width apart. Walk your hands back a little bit, bending the knees. And we're just going to be here. I love to shake my head around like this. This actually helps to release tension in the neck. Okay. This is what my lineage, say when somebody in the family about to have a baby or another baby, kids be looking between their legs. Children know. Children know. All right, now from here, family, I want you to slowly straighten your legs up, okay? And roll yourself up, okay? Roll yourself up. And make sure that you can see me. Okay, from here, we're going to do a heart opening pose up here because there's one that you can do standing up. And from here, again, you are going to shoulder width apart your feet, hands interlocked behind your back. Your hands pull down and your neck pulls up and you're opening your heart center. So your hands are pulling down into your lower chakras, your neck pulling you up into your higher chakras, opening the heart center. Okay, now roll your shoulders forward and lock your hands. I'm gonna face you guys again. We're gonna go into another grounding pose that I love truly and deeply. That definitely helps open my hips and ground me and ground. I'm gonna get off my mat and touch me some grass. Let Myrtle get some camera time as well. Go ahead, girl, with your pretty self. All right. So from here, this grounding pose, and making sure that you can see me. All right. We don't want to just squat in it. We're going to take our time and we're going to roll ourselves into it. I like to place my elbows into my knees, helping to open that stretch. This feels so amazing. There was a time where I did this and I was outside here in my backyard and I was grounding and I did this pose and I can just feel the energy of Gaia, Mother Nature, just reaching up and pulling out stagnant energy, and tears started to flow out. And it was a beautiful moment because it felt great. It felt good. 1, 4, 3. I love me. 1, 4, 3. I love me. That's my little tune that I sing for myself. It's 10:43 on the clock. All right, now from here, I want you to place your hands on the ground. Okay. Slowly roll your body back up. Okay, walk it up into a downward dog. Ensure you bring your feet in like your human bridge. Okay. From here, we're going to scoop down into a cobra. Slow, scoop it down into a cobra. God, that feels amazing. All right. I'm going to come back up on the mat. Okay. Whew. I want to do another heart opening exercise. Okay. So from there, we can do, make sure, got ants crawling on my mat. Okay. So roll on your knees. Bring yourself up, making sure that you can see me. All right. What you're going to do, your hands is going to come back. You're going to grab your ankles and open that heart center. Okay, roll it back up. Now, from here, let's just roll our bodies back down. This will be into child's pose. To stay this way, bringing your hands forward. Have a moment. Rest your head on the mat. Okay, and roll back up. Now let's sit on our high knees again. We talked about the throat center a lot during our planetary alignment spill. Okay, so I do want to incorporate some neck poses. Now, the first one, we're just going to rotate the neck. Slow rotations. Slow rotations. Slow rotations. Opposite end. Now let's rewind and go the other end again. And let's do the opposite again. And center. All right. Now we're going to stretch our neck forward, back up straight, and stretch your neck looking down. Get a good stretch in the back of the neck. Now let's stretch our neck. Bring our head to the sky. Stretching the front of the neck. Bring our head back to center. Let's tilt our head to the left. Taking our left hand, pulling it gently, not too hard, but just a nice little pull where you're stretching the right side of your neck. Bring our head back to center, tilt it to the right, pulling our right hand on our head, giving it a gentle pull, stretching the left side of the neck. All right, back to center. Here is another throat pose. And we used to do this as kids. Okay, let's do this slow. Lay on our backs, feet up. All right. And you're going to bring it over, guiding your buttocks over your head. You may feel some release after this. If the tips of your toes touch the ground, great. If they don't, it is okay. Hands should be flat down on the ground if you're able to. From this pose, I like to put my hands back above my buttocks, bring my feet to the sky. As I do, move my hands down the back, pushing my legs to the sky as my arms guide my hips up to the sky and my hips, feet are in the air. And we're going to roll our bodies back down slowly. Okay. Now that we are here, let's get back into a lotus position. Okay, from here, family, I did say I want us to do a 5-minute meditation. You're going to do 5 minutes of meditating. As you're meditating, I am going to be shuffling and pulling the cards. Sit in lotus position. I have the timer started. Sit 5 minutes. Okay, and allow yourself a moment of silence, meditation, mindfulness. As you do that, I will be shuffling my activity and oracle cards and get our messages. While you're meditating, think about the questions that were asked this rising. And another question I want you to meditate upon is, what knowledge have I already gained that I'm ready to embody? What knowledge have I already gained and I am ready to embody? Meditate on that. What old habits, limiting beliefs are you ready to release? How does your body feel? Especially during this Saturn's Day reset. Okay? Focus on your breathing. Okay. All right. Okay. Put that all. I already had 3 cards come out. I did say 3 cards per minimum. All right. Got 3 minutes. 3 minutes. I'm not going to look at the cards until the timer goes off. If you're just joining, thank you for joining. What we are doing, we're in our 5-minute meditation, okay? So jump in where you fit in. We focus on some grounding poses for the root chakra. We focus on some heart poses for the heart center. We focus on some throat poses for the throat center. Okay, I asked a few questions along the way. We are at 2 minutes left on the clock. Okay, these are some questions that I asked throughout our Saturn's rising reset. What conversation with self still needs my attention and healing? Can I create disciplined beginnings when starting something new? Who am I when I stop performing? What old identity am I ready to release? At 1 minute, what knowledge have I already gained that I'm ready to embody? As you guys are meditating, I pulled 3 cards. I am not turning these cards over until we we're at 30 seconds until the timer goes off. I want us to all see these cards together in unison. All right, that's the timer. That's the timer. Okay, so 3 cards came out from my chakras, oracle, and activity deck. Okay, so we got our 3 cards for this Saturn's rising. All right, first card, let's flip it over. It is dedicated to the heart center. Okay, can you say that again and again? Repeat the affirmation below to yourself silently or out loud, anywhere from 1 to 3 million times per day. Well, it says 37 million times a day. Okay, 2 or 3 usually does the trick. Feel the wisdom your heart chakra has known all along. And this is the affirmation: I love myself fully, and I'm willing to prove my love to myself because I deserve the best. So, self, believe me when I say that I am for the right reasons. This is our first card. All right, pulling over the second one. It is for our third eye. Okay. Hey, try this. I'm going to read the card to you. Your breath is an immediate link to the infinite present moment, and nothing will make you feel more infinite than a good 2.2 seconds of conscious awareness. Take 3 conscious breaths today, whenever you remember to, and that's literally whenever you remember to. You can do it whenever you are, wherever you are. Let me repeat that. You can do it wherever you are, whatever you're doing. Feeding the fish, 3 conscious breaths. Try on a stork. Try conscious breath. Take foreign diplomats to in and out. 3 conscious breaths, that meditation animal style. Fries are extra. These some quirky cards. Okay. Our third card is dedicated to our sacral. Burn it up to burn it down. Your sacral chakra can carry energetic imprints from past relationships, aka baggage, like rocks piled in the middle of a river. This baggage ends up blocking your energetic flow. On separate pieces of paper, write answers to the prompts below, then literally set them on fire with passion and intention, but without burning the house down. Your grievedness will now be nothing but ash, smoke, and overton symbolism. Okay, so the prompts is person or thing I have negative feelings about. Situation I have negative feelings about. Garbage emotions I will no longer hold on to. It's 1:11 on the clock. These are our cards for this Saturn's rising reset. Gratitude for joining. I am so proud of you guys for showing up for yourself, even when no one is watching. Continue to do so because you have to show up for you. If you don't show up for you, then who will? Okay? You got to start with self. May this Saturn's rising reset, I affirm that it did, was able to help you recenter, reset, and get back into your own center. Be able to think some things through. Again, I do have some journal prompts that I want you to write down, and it's basically the questions that I've asked earlier, and I'm going to read those questions. So when you're alone with self, you can go back into your journal and you can ask these to yourself and answer them properly. What conversation with self still needs my attention or healing? Okay. Can I create disciplined beginnings? Who am I when I stop performing? Last but not least, what knowledge have I already gained that I am ready to embody? Okay, those are the four questions that you have. Remember the three cards that were pulled. These are, many activities that you can do for yourself to help you recenter on your Saturn's rising. Okay, I want to give gratitude for you for watching, gratitude for myself for showing up for me. Gratitude to Gaia, gratitude to nature, gratitude to Myrtle, gratitude to my ancestors, all my spirit guides, gratitude to you all. May your Saturn's rising continue to be fulfilling and abundant loves. And until then, find your light and fix your crown, family. Peace.